So today we're going to be making a crochet plant. So I've got one that I've made previously. So for this tutorial I'm going to be focusing on the actual plant itself rather than the pot. So I already have a pot made ready. If you'd like the tutorial for how to make the plant pot itself, I'll put the written pattern in the description, or alternatively, if you would like the video tutorial, I'll also link that and that will show you how to make a plant pot. So using your green yarn, we are going to start by doing a chain of about 30. So the chain length you do will depend on how long you want your chain of flowers to be. If you're doing a smaller plant, you can do less. If you want them to be super long, you can do more. But for me, I'm just going to chain 30. So now at the end of our chain, we are going to yarn over, and into the second stitch from the hook, we are going to do 4 double crochets. 1, 2. So we're working into that same stitch. We're doing 4 double crochets in the same stitch. 3, and that is 4. And then what we're going to do is we're going to carefully take our hook out of the yarn. We're going to reinsert it into that very first stitch, and then we're going to reinsert it into the stitch we just dropped, and then we're going to pull the yarn through to close that stitch. And as you can see, that makes a little bubble. So to reinsert our hook into this main chain, we're going to go to the next stitch along from where we just worked those 4 double crochets. We're going to insert our hook. We're just going to do a single crochet. Ooh. I'm a bit tight, I think. There we are. Then we're going to do 2 more single crochets, just 1 in each stitch along. So we'll have a total of 3 single crochets, all in their own stitches. Then we're going to repeat what we did for this one. So we are going to chain 2. This will act as our first double crochet. We're going to yarn over, and into the side of the very last single crochet we did, we are going to do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. So we're not working any further along this chain, we're just doing them all in the very side of that single crochet. So before, we're going to carefully take our hook out. It's a bit harder to see on this one, but we're going to insert our hook into the first stitch of that first double crochet we did, reinsert it into the little stitch we just took our hook out of, and we're going to pull the yarn all the way through to create that little pearl. Then we're going to reinsert into the next stitch along. We're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, it does get a bit fiddly, 2, and then 3. And then we're going to repeat what we've done before. So we will chain 2. We're going to do 3 double crochets into the side of that single crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. And then, as before, we will take our hook out, insert it into that very first stitch, reattach, and then pull our yarn through. And then from here we'll continue, we'll do 3 single crochets, and then we'll repeat doing our little pearl, and we'll do that all the way along our chain until we have 4 chains left. Okay, as you can see, I have 4 stitches left on my chain, and this is what I've made so far. So yours should look something like this. So to finish off, we are going to do 4 single crochets, but what I'm going to do is just weave in my end. You don't have to. I just prefer to do it as I go along. It just makes my life a bit easier. So this part here is going to form the top part of our plant. So what you could do is you could make several individual lots of leaves. So you could cut off the yarn here and just sew them on individually. But if you're like me and you don't like sewing, what we're going to do is continue working just with this, so everything is all attached together. So we're going to be starting the next chain of pearls. So to do this, we are going to chain 30. Or if when you started you did a longer chain, then you want to chain that same number again. So once you have completed your chain, we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to yarn over, we're going to skip that first stitch, and then into that second stitch we are going to do 4 double crochets. So I've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. We're going to take our hook out very carefully, insert it into that first stitch, reinsert it, pull our yarn through, and then reattach our hook to the chain using 3 single crochets. Got 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to chain 2, and into the side of that stitch we're going to do 3 double crochets, 2, 3, take our hook out, insert it into the first stitch, pull it through, and then we're going to continue with the pattern we've been doing all along, all the way back to the very top of this chain where it meets the other string of pearls that we've done. And we're going to continue doing the same pattern for as many strings of pearls you would like. So as you can see on the one that I've done previously, I did 5 chains of pearls. If you want yours to be a bit fuller and have a bit more going on, then you can do more. If you want less, you can do less. So I'll meet you back when you've done as many chains of pearls as you wish. So once you have completed all your chains of pearls, it should look something like this. So what you want to do, you can just cut off your ends. I leave about 15 centimeters because you want to attach it to your soil. If you just pull your yarn through, I just like to pull it tight. And then if you take your soil, so you don't want to attach your soil to your plant pot just yet. We're going to attach the plant to the soil first. So you get your yarn needle, thread the wool through. Oh, it's a bit tricky. What you want to do is find the center of your chain of pearls, and that center wants to be aligned with the center of your soil. So what I do is I just poke my needle through the center of the soil and then pull all the way through. And then you will probably have to redistribute where your pearls lay a bit. And then once you're happy, just keep reinserting your hook from behind through the pearls and then back through to the back, and then that will attach them nice and firmly. And then once it's attached, if you just reinsert your hook through the back, just pick up one stitch, pull your needle through, and then just tie a knot just to attach it so it doesn't come apart. So to assemble, you want to stuff your plant pot with polyfill. How much you put in is dependent on how stiff you want your plant pot. And then we're going to take our soil and place it on top of the plant pot. And it should fit nice and neatly inside the lid. So what I do is I push it down, so I don't want the plant pot, the soil to be in line with the top of the plant pot. I want it to be a little bit beneath. So I usually do about 1 or 2 rounds beneath the top of the pot. And if you just find where your yarn was attached. So what you want to do is 1 or 2 rows down, whatever suits you, insert your needle and pick up 1 stitch and pull the thread all the way through. And then we're going to reinsert our needle into the soil, pick up 1 stitch in the pot and pull all the way through. We're going to keep doing this all the way around. 1 stitch in soil, 1 stitch in the plant pot. We're going to do that until the seam is completely closed. If you find you get near the end and your plant pot isn't as stiff as you would like it, then feel free to add more polyfill. And when you're finished, you should have something that resembles something like this.